let's talk about what kind of improvement are other projection screens going to give to you for your setup. Like, what's the improvement you're going to receive? Because that's very important that you know that. That what type of improvement that you're going to get when you're upgrading your white projection screen. How much of that are you going to be able to profit from your projector setup? Because most people, when they go out and they buy a screen, they buy a white screen. That's usually what they get. And then basically they go out and they get themselves a high-end projector, figuring that the projector is going to push whatever it's designed to do back to the screen. And the problem you're going to have here, you're going to realize that this is not going to work. And later on, you get home, you hook this up, you put your lights on, your regular environment, that's where you want it at. You don't have plans to have it in the dark. And you find out this is not going to work out for you. So this is where our technology comes in. So the improvements that you should be getting, you should be able to see, is you should be able to pull up a beautiful image, crystal clear, nice and sharp, without the image becoming distorted or washed out. Keep in mind, as we said before in our demonstrations, the projectors, let me get this fan up. This fan is right up in my face. There we go. That's better. That's much, much better. So what we're saying is here that bottom line is my projector is a 10,001. It's a QME portable 720p projector. It's absolutely useless on a white screen. All the demonstrations I've seen on this projector are all done on white screens. That's why they're sitting in a dark environment, which we said we're going to brighten it up in here a bit, but that's why they're sitting in a dark environment, because that projector does not read on a white screen. Now in our technology, it reads perfectly fine. Now, how hard is it to apply our technology? I just wrote the K in. That's it. For my name, Kenneth. That's it. That's how easy it is. That's why we don't have instructions. That's why it's so up and down, robot formations, left, right, whatever, that dinner-sized plate nonsense. None of that crap. Because nobody wants to be doing the hard instructions at the end of the day. Would you rather have a sofa you snap together and it's done, or 45,000 pieces in a box? So again, easy to do. It's so easy, and our screens activate such a rapid pace that, again, there's no curing time, no waiting for the screen to level off, none of that nonsense at the end of the day. You just paint your initials in there, it just pops on. And again, any expensive projectors required? No, we're using a QME Q2 projector. I'll back it up to see my projector. That's my Q2 QME projector, 720p at 300 lumens. Right now over top of us, we've got about 6,000 in the ceiling. Once I turn it on, we'll be at full blast at 24,000 lumens in the ceiling, compared to the 300 lumens that's coming from the projector, which is pretty much nothing. As you can see, the black technology that we engineer we consider this to be the best product on the market. If you're not pulling a 100% black level, if you're not reading crystal clear white levels, as you can see, our white levels come out quite remarkable, because you can see all the beautiful colored fish, you can see the coral reef. Next to a white surface, it doesn't stand a chance against it. And on top of that, what's important is the 100% contrast level, which is extremely important for any form of application. So, it shows at the end of the day, our screens are easy to apply. All I had to do was just take a roller and just basically put in the letter K, and that's it, and boom, we're done. None of that other nonsense. We do paint, dry demonstrations. You can see those. This is where we paint the screen, display it, and dry it right in front of you. No editing, none of that nonsense. You can see exactly the screen dries in front of you, and then basically just display it, just like that. So that's what the improvement you should be getting from your white surface. So all these white screens that they have all over Allentown, all I got to do is walk in with a little roller, and our paint just mark in my name, Kenneth Bird, into their screen, because you can roll right back over time and make a difference. And when that projector hits it, only we come up. Now imagine your company at the end of the day. You've got 60, 70 screens sitting in your environment, all white screens. Mr. Bird walks into your environment, and I go, which screen you want us to do first? Let me show you on. All I would have to do is just write a K into your screen. That's it. My initials. KB. That's it. Like KB Toy Store. And put it up there, and boom, only my name will pop up. So consider the fact that we already know that majority of the screens here are white, and we know for a fact that the projectors that they're using for those screens are through the roof. Because again, they're trying to get the screen to work. And we can come in there and make that thing work easily because the projectors are using it's an absolute cakewalk for our technology. Those who have not spent the money for those, they'll save a ton of money because we buy under $200 for all our machines. So that means it doesn't cost you a lot of money. And that's the massive improvement that we get. Let's put our lights on. So we'll brighten it up in here a bit because we consider this to be dark. Oh, wait. Let me show you lights off too. We get that a lot. People say, well, I'm going to be in the dark. I'm really not going to see a difference. Yeah, you will with our stuff, you will. So that's lights out. As you can see, only our technology reads. So it doesn't make a difference if you're in the lights out, you're in a dark environment. At the end of the day, our technology shows a massive improvement on your screen. Imagine you being in a dedicated theater room, you got a white screen in there. You're not reading 100% black. That's what you're picking up. So without our technology, the screen doesn't work. Now, for those that sit there and say, oh, I've done the testing. Remember, I do more testing than anybody else. I'm the one that goes to other people's sites and look for testing that matches ours. We're the only ones that match your betters. So you don't test your stuff. Your stuff is not even weatherproof. We already know that from the door. It's not enough testing. That stuff may crack, peel, bubble, a lot of stuff to go wrong with out there. So no. On top of that, I can match half your stuff to everyday paint that I can get off Home Depot or Lowe's. None of your stuff is testing. If you don't have the test to back it up, then you can't say that you are what you are. And I've seen demonstrations of what they call it the benefit of a gray screen versus a white screen. Poor job. Because again, the reason why they do it in the dark because the contrast levels don't read correctly. If a gray screen can't read a 100% contrast to begin with, what makes you think you can see black? And are you depending on the projector to do this, to fix this mess? Because if you are, you're going to cost the customers a lot of money. So how are we fixing it? How are we going to read that contrast level like I'm reading right now for gray screen? We can't. There you go. So with that being said, well, that's that. Now let's put full lighting on here. This is maxed out full lighting in our environment. Now you've noticed that even in the dark, the screen pulls. Of course, easy. Even with all the lights on, the screen pulls. Easy. Even at partial light, it pulls. Easy. But when you're talking about you have a product that you have to be in the dark because you can't get your contrast and colors to register correctly, this is a big concern. That's why when we tell you that the only way to upgrade your technology is through us. Our projectors in here won't do jack on your screens. On these high-end projection screen setups that use white screens, they use gray screens, those projectors are completely useless on your screen. They don't work. There's no way in the world JVC should be sitting in the dark with that machine. The screen has the issue. Is anything wrong with the projectors? No, projectors work perfectly fine. This one works perfectly fine. It doesn't work on white screens. It only works on our technology. That's why you can see the cake crystal clear. You can see the fish tank, the black background, the coral reef, the different color fish. You can see all that crystal clear through our technology. So the best way to upgrade your white screen, whether it be home or business, would be our company. Yep, it would be our company. Because we're the only ones who do these demonstrations. Now, we're going to have a matching better. After this one, I'm planning to do a matching better. I do that after matching betters. No one does them because they can't do them because they have to be in the dark because the gray screen can't read at all, period. Jeez. All right, partial lighting. Teach me to do this. And then partial lighting, that's partial lighting. Lights out. There we go. So, upgrading your white projection screen, will a gray screen help you? No. Will a certified gunmetal do it? No. A certified gunmetal is better than the gray screen and white screen, yes, but definitely by far. But it can't give you Infinity One contrast level, especially when you're spending $3,000 to $7,000 for a screen. That's a lot of money to pay for a screen that can't read 100% black. And we overpower those anyway. So short and sweet, that easy, that fast. We can show you how we can basically upgrade your white screen. And the screen paint we have here we call our Ultimate Black Cinematic, which has the most testing out of any screen paint on the market. If you go to our website, there's 8,000 in of all kinds of information on the technology. We've even tested this thing outside on the same projector we have right here. Demonstrations are there. Paint down demonstrations, no instructions, paint it in so easy your kids can literally paint the screen. Heck, they can put their names on the screen if they want. Like I did right there, letter K. Anywhere I put that paint, your projector works. As you can see, the white surface behind it doesn't pick up nothing next to it. And that technology is not great because some people make that mistake of not knowing how to make a black technology. It comes up gray, that's black. There you go. So it just goes to show that no matter what you pay for your projector, without our technology, it doesn't work. One of the displays I plan to have. That's the only time I plan to buy a high-end projector to show you that that projector is absolutely useless on gunmetal, gray screen, and a white screen compared to our technology. We're going to do a stripe screen side by side by side. Just stick it in there, put the projector in there. See exactly what it's not going to pick up. Because if you have to spend more money at the end of the day, you can't use my $40 QME projector or my $16 Epson projector. They work perfectly fine on our technology. We don't have a problem. If your solution is to spend more money, you already lost. You should be able to use this projector with no problem. In a fully lit environment, how I change my lights out, your light should be able to change. For the customers, your light should be able to change. I talk to two different people on here when I do these demonstrations. I talk to people who make products at the end of the day, and I talk to customers. This is a demonstration you should be seeing when you go to buy screen paint products or any projection screen. You should see that much of an improvement if it's going to be upgrading your white screen. Got people sitting in the dark talking about the benefits of a gray screen versus a white screen. They turn lights out in the demonstrations. Why are we doing that? And then they're right up on top of the screen, like right up on top of it. Another problem right there. We've done these demonstrations to death. We have so many splattered screen demonstrations, it's not even funny. This is actually a pretty cool one right here. And another problem, calibrating. If there's a suggestion you calibrate, that's a bad idea. Because that means at the end of the day, your colors don't read correctly. Why are we calibrating on a projector that has 1.7 billion colors attached to it? Has a 2 million to 1 contrast, has a tri-4K laser system set up on it, and that thing sits in the dark and let a foot away from the screen at 3,000 lumens. That's a major red flag if that screen's not operating correctly. Projector works perfectly fine. Just like this one right here, it works perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it at all, period. But if you hit it against the white screen, this projector doesn't function anymore. It only functions when it hits our stuff. That's why you see the beautiful coral reef, the beautiful fish, even down to the white rocks and the white coral reef on the corner. And look, no hard instructions. No up and down patterns. You see the pattern I put in there? One going up, one going one way, one going the other way. None of that robot nonsense. Even strokes with up and down formation. Stop at the center, at the previous, where you stopped at, begin roll there. Oh my goodness. No way in the world I'm doing that crap. There's no way in the world. Easy, fast, dries in no time at all. Fantastic results from the door. None of that dumb nonsense about wet. Getting it. Yeah, I can't even repeat that. Painting the screen, because I'm repeating what people said. You can't get mad at me. I'm just repeating what they said. I didn't add anything to it. Paint the screen just to get it wet. Just push the paint around. You're just pushing the paint around just to get the surface wet. Then you got to go to application 1, application 2, application 3. Yeah, right. I ain't doing that nonsense. No company in the right mind's going to apply that stuff to anything. It just takes too long. Then you got to keep rolling over it and rolling over it and rolling over it. You don't believe, go to Blacklist. Check it out for yourself. It's freaking nightmarish. This, I can write my name on it. Boy, if you're a graffiti artist, you do really, really handy work with a brush, you can have a ball with our paint. You can really take a canvas and paint this whole design in what you want. Mine is put up this projector mapping application, so we have projector mapping equipment. But it works in projector mapping. But you can write stuff in it and just project an image off of that. That would be freaking cool to look at. I'm going to do some stencils. I can take my hand and dip it in that paint and put it right against your white screen, and guess what? Only my hand pulls up. That's how potent that technology is. Now, if you're on their channels crying about it, of course, that's their job. They're supposed to cry about it. That's their job. That tells you how amazing the product is. Because if the haters are out there crying, then you know at the end of the day that that product is doing what it's designed to do. Because I don't see anybody making anything to come up against it. Okay. Matching better challenge today. Pin the initial whatever in the middle of your screen and fire it up at 300 lumens at 24,000 in the ceiling. You must reach 24,000. Run the office out. I don't care. But I know you're not going to do it anyway. So we're going to put it up anyway knowing you can't do it. You need approximately 24,000 for the ceiling. Look, even lights out. That technology picks up even with the lights out. Of course it does. That's why in your dedicated theater room setups, man, you're not picking up what you think you're picking up in that environment. So if you want to upgrade your white screen, you want to get the most out of your investment of what you paid for your office or for your business, you come to us. You want to get ripped off, you want to get cheated, you want to have fake contrast levels, calibrated, you got to calibrate your projector, complicated instructions, nothing but a headache of a waste of your time and money, you go to them. And as for them at the end of the day, if you ever want to challenge my technology, you come to me, and I guarantee I'll shut your business down in a day. I got technology in here that you don't even know about. So whether it's outside, inside, Pico projectors, ultra, it doesn't make a difference to us. We can easily take you. See, you can't say that on your channel. You know why you can't say it on your channel? Because you'll wake me up, that's why. If you sit there and say, all right, there, Mr. Bertabot, don't do that. People have done that and paid for that one. Costly. We've got even people crying on receipts. Send us back money like crying on their receipts. So don't do that. You know, you're ruining your business. You smell blood in the water, you'll come. Guarantee we'll shut you down. And mind you, I've watched people's videos every single day, and y'all don't operate this kind of lighting in here. You don't even use our machines at all. You use high-powered machines. You use crush units that allow your stuff to work well. High-powered machines in dark environments and ambient light control. Let's stick in an environment in here that meters don't even read. You know why we don't use a meter machine anymore? It doesn't read in here anymore. And we go outside and do demonstrations. They definitely don't pick up out there. So, with that being said, yeah, meters are useless to us. Now, customers knowing that we can put those companies on blast just like that, shows you why our technology is far more superior. And look at that. I can just write a simple K in the middle of a white surface and only we read. That's a massive improvement. That's how you upgrade your white screen without costing more money. Don't go out and buy a more expensive projector. You don't need it. They tell you to go buy a more expensive, that's because it's to fix their problems at the end of the day. If they tell you you have to be stuck in dark environments, that's to fix their problem at the end of the day. If they tell you you got to calibrate to get your colors to pop, that's their problem at the end of the day, not yours. So anytime you see someone, send them this video. Tell Mr. Burr said hello. That's what you do. Say, hey, there's a guy on YouTube named Mr. Burr. He makes this product, so and so. Does your product do this? Go ahead, give it to him. Tell him Mr. Burr sends his regards. If you ever want to look me up, you know where I'm at. Bring whatever you got. I got options here in the day. I can bring you inside and crush you. I can take you out in the sun. It doesn't make a difference to me. You got to be able to have that confidence in your product. Ugh. I need one of those chairs now from Star Trek, the command chair we had. I want one of those now. You know, Captain Kirk never sat up in his chair. He always leaned to the side in his chair. He always kept that one leg like warp speed. He was so, what's the word for it? He was so chilled with that chair, man. He said warp speed. What do we got on the radar? What's going on over here? And he was goes on the web. But anyway, He just brought a little, Captain Kirk brought a little bit of, what do you call it? Some hipster to it. I think like some little more jazz to it. Whatever. But anyway, yeah, there you go. That's the way it's supposed to look, customer. You're supposed to read like that. Your white screen's supposed to have that kind of advancement. None of that washed out, dull, gray, dingy look to it. You're not supposed to be having those problems. See how we only come up in the menu? That's literally what you look like. Your menus should never come up in gray. They're supposed to be in black. Can you feel the love tonight? Sorry, people. I just came in from a walk. I'm still hyped up. See how the colors don't even read? Look at the spot between the K. I'm going to get it right there and there. The yellow don't even read. See that? Look at that. Don't even read. That's what makes why our technology takes off on so many levels. I would literally, for my demonstration, could take out a big brush and just paint my name into a screen in demonstration. That's what I'm doing when I go to the expos. That's what I got planned. I'm going to paint my name into the screen and only our stuff reads. Do you have any different how many companies would be trying to get access to that paint at the end of the day? We don't even have to paint the whole screen. That stuff shows so much of a massive change that we don't even have to paint the whole screen. I can just put a dot in the middle of the screen and only our stuff will read. That's it. I can have a ball with that. I can come out there with a bucket of paint and just go splash. Only our stuff reads. Look at the massive improvement. That's why I said that's why they advise you to calibrate. They don't read it all, period. The colors don't come up correctly. Well, let's do it with all the lights on. It's much more fun. This is too easy for us. When you want the lights out, just do lights out, baby. I'll give you both of them. Can you feel the love? I'm having fun over here, people. Don't mind me. I just came out from doing this crazy walk. I'm so hyped up. So it only shows two things from here. It shows how much you're missing from your projector and why our product is the best choice when you're upgrading that white projection screen. Only your stuff reads. And again, no complicated instructions. I literally wrote the K right in the middle of the screen. So that should tell you right there. All that up-down format, no. Just paint the screen like you regular painted the wall. That's it. No hard instructions. That's why instructions don't come with it. Your kids can literally paint that screen for you. Papa could have had posable thumbs. Now the technology you have here, the Ultimate Black Cinematic, is ultra short compatible, which means it doesn't really make a difference what projector you get at the end of the day, due to the fact that you won't need a high contrast level because the screen is contrast itself, because it really doesn't make a difference. Do you have to have a high-res projector? No, it's not necessary. You don't need it because the screen is black itself. Calibrating? No, you will never ever calibrate. That's unheard of. Dark environments? No. It's fully weatherproof? Yes. It works with projector mapping applications. If you're into the art field, this is fantastic for that. You can paint your ceilings with that, which means you can put an infinity ceiling. Imagine your dedicated theater room. Paint your screen in and your ceiling at the same time and have your lights on, and you can watch the stars. You can make it thundercloud. Whatever the frick you want to do your ceiling, it's up to you. Pretty easy to do. Short though projector, which cost me around under $200, and a fire stick. That's all it took me to put an infinity ceiling in that I can change out to anything I want. Cheap, affordable. Instead of spending $10,000 to $20,000 for a work crew to come and rip out your ceiling, and it just shows the same thing over and over again. Maybe a little star here and there. You can put the burning sun in the middle of your ceiling, the Milky Way, anything you want. So there's multiple applications which you can use it to. Floor projection technology, also too for interactive technology, which is fully compatible with. Works with all that good stuff. Let's go and let's put in LG, Betafish. Only commercials show up on ours. So the hype they tell you, and they lie to you, is that the white screen, when you buy it, that your projector, depending on how much money you spend, is the best quality you're going to be able to receive from the white screen. I say hoopla, because no, that's not true. You're going to get crap. That's what you're going to get. You might get a little better crap if you use 4K, but it's still going to get crap. It's not going to do that. That's what you're expecting. You're expecting to get what we're seeing on that K on your screen, but you're not going to get that. Our technology allows you to have that. So that means you didn't have to spend the money for 4K or 1080p. It was not even necessary. So that means you save a lot of money. That's why like that customers I bump into, they have that $3,000, $2,000 wallet. They haven't even bought one yet. And they think they're going to go and spend all this money. And I go, oh, heck no. We're going to go get a projector for under $200. You know the shock and all that they go through in that process and how much money they save from us? When people use slogans saving you hundreds, they're not saving you hundreds, they're costing you thousands of dollars. But they literally have spent thousands of dollars for the very projector that they're using in their demonstrations to get the screen to work. And they're still stuck in the dark with it. They didn't save you anything at all. They just cost themselves more money and will end up costing you more money. So look at the improvement on that. This is why I told you, companies are interested. The advertising firm is using this technology. They're advertising, they're marketing it toward companies. We're still going to be advertised for customers. Still going to be saying to our customers, but they're marketing the technology toward companies, not toward customers right now. We market toward customers. I told you, we want to stay in the game with customers, we want to continue to sell the product to our customers. That's why we decided to develop two different product screen paints. We got a black gold rose coming out, and we got another one called dark hazel deluxe that's coming out. We're making those for customers, but they're going to be marketing. I got that grant. I'm going to do something with it, and for me to make them millions and millions of dollars, I got to go near the big companies. That's where they want to be marketed to. So imagine a company, all of them flooded with all them white screens in there, and all we have to do is do that to their screen, and that's the advancement they get. Application takes extremely fast. They can literally paint the entire building in no time at all. Dries fast, applies fast, not hard to do. For our customers, no complicated instructions. And for all you people who make great paints out there at the end of the day, that want to make claim at the end of the day, your product's pulling contrast, you gotta stop lying so you don't pull contrast. They're not upgrading. I watched that guy, I told you, I'm going to mention his name because we got the video right on the blacklist. You can see it for yourself. You deleted the video, but we got it. The benefits of a gray screen versus a white screen. Now he had both lights on. Why would you turn the lights out in that demonstration? Why? Because his contrast levels can't kick with the lights on, neither can the color. That's why. That's not a benefit. I'm already in the dark already with the white screen. So you mean to tell me I got to be in the dark with the gray screen too? That doesn't make any sense. No, it's a waste of money. Waste of your time and money. When you show the benefits of something, you're supposed to take it out of the elements in the environment in which that screen is in. That's how you show the benefits. And then show the massive difference between night and day, between that white surface and your surface. As you can see, there's no contest. And we didn't have to use 4K to do it. Or 3,000 to 1. We're at 300. Look how those reds pop. Look at that 100% black background. Now we're having a sale. Our sale's about to end soon. Actually, the 15th of August is when we basically go back to the regular prices. And then after that, we have to make a decision because the advertising crew is going to be advertising on technology toward companies. So the price will be going up. But we're eliminating the 24, we won't need it anymore. The 32 ounce and 1 gallon will stay, 64 ounce will be eliminated. We don't need those. 1 gallon, so pretty much roughly reach probably 1 gallon to 10 gallons. Those will be for companies, and for customers, it will be 32 ounces. We paint the screen size up to 150 inches. Bum, 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 bum. Check this one over here.
No, not even WhatsApp can see your personal messages.
And again, for the crybabies that are still crying about camera tricks, yeah, that would be impossible. We got an advertising firm going to be using this pretty soon. So, yeah, I had to be down there to show them a demonstration with the screen and all that. That would be virtually impossible. Other people stare at this besides me all day. But I can say you use tricks like high-powered machines, dark environment, calibrated projectors, 4K enhancements. I know all that stuff. And on top of that, like I said, all tricks. Then you lie and tell people you want to read a black level when you know darn well you can't pick that thing up. At that, curious how much of y'all stuff is matching actual house paint. I know. I did the testing off camera. I know a lot. That's why we do bare minimum, people. $40. That's my setup here. $40 for my projector. That's what it cost me. I'm going to pick up another Cumi. OLED demonstrations. Now you should be able to read all that, including the white colors, all that should be pick up. They should be able to read that with no problem. Let's see if I can. There we go. That's a very dark OLED display. Demonstration right there. Very dark one. You have to be to pick that up. What I've seen in black paints that try to do this one, you know what you fail at? Your white levels don't read correctly. So see all those bright lights all over the city, how bright they come up, the sunset, all that? You don't read any of that. You come up what we call oversaturation of contrast levels. You literally come up so dark that your white levels are so poor that we can barely make out those white lights in the background. You give them your contrast level is high, which is supposed to be, but your white levels are extremely poor. This is why I don't see white level tests. I don't see demonstrations of dropping projectors back at 16 feet, 18 feet, 20 feet back. I don't see projectors that run in at 1,000 lumens or under 1,000 lumens. I don't see any of that. And I don't see white level tests of you taking a white surface, one side of your screen versus snow levels. We don't see that. We're missing a lot of tests. And that's the reason why you can't go. We don't consider you to be a threat. You know why? You can't go anywhere with that stuff. You're going to definitely hit PayPal complaints left and right and chargeback. You know that's coming. Your product can't do what it's supposed to do. You can't even back your own product, especially when you're missing a lot of testing on it to begin with. And no company will sign you without those tests. Because they're going to ask those questions. What's the difference between your product and black paint? If you can't show that, they can't sign you. They would show all kinds of testing. And look at the massive difference between that. Anyone with a gray screen claim to read color and contrast, you're colorblind. You're not really picking that up. I want that older horse. Let me get this one here. And I can't express this enough. When you're doing this demonstration, you're going to have to be able to read that 100% black level. See how bright those colors come up on our side? See those? See how vivid and green they are? Look at the white screen. We used to see it on gray all the time. Gray has this washed out color that comes up. Especially when you're looking at scenery. Look at scenery, you'll notice that the greens are all the same color. There's supposed to be multiple shades of green in there. Because, that's usually how it works. The plants and stuff have multiple shades and it's just all green. And that's what we notice. When we look at the greenery, it's all the same color. It's not supposed to be the same color. It's supposed to pop. Look at that. I got to get some pictures on this. There we go at the contrast again. Bright reds. So that's how much of an improvement our technology gives to you with your white screen. You want to upgrade your white screen? Then you come to us. You want to fail your projector? You go to them. Now, I make this statement all the time. If anyone, if you naysayers, because it's only you guys, feel at the end of the day that our products don't work, sign. We'll see you in court. That's all. You can challenge me in court anytime you want. Not a problem at all. Sign our document. We'll see you in court. That's it. It's going to cost you some money. A lot of money if you mess up. So be prepared. Make sure 100% you know what you're getting yourself into. And if you lose the case, do not believe that we won't come get your stuff, because I will. I will execute judgment right there on the spot. Which means I'll have a debt collector with a court order come get your stuff. And anything else you have. Because you'll owe me money now. So, how much you willing to put up? All right then, that shuts them down at the end of the day. That's how you keep all that nonsense under control. Till then, look at that. Look how amazing that looks right there. That is absolutely gorgeous. It's not going to be hard for us to sell this product. All right, let me go from here. Boom. I'm definitely going to get some pictures off of this, and I'm definitely going to have to go in and put a... We got to do a challenge on here. We got to put a challenge on here. Match or better challenge.
A little chocolatey and
We'll do this one for match and better challenge. I'm going to date it. It has to be done today. Which we know you're not going to do either way. But we'll put it out there anyway. Yeah, customers, we challenge them all the time. Ah, that's business.